Okay, I'm on page 161. This is example 6. I needed to draw this graph before I jumped into this one. This is a tricky graph. It's a lot easier if you look at it like this. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on here with this graph. The first thing that I notice is that each of these boxes is not counting as a single box. Each box is counting as 2. So 1 would be right in there. There's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to realize that these are scaled a little differently. Each box is worth 2 in terms of value. Now I'm going to pull off any of this that I don't have to have. I think I'll leave that 2 there. We don't have anything in the graph space up here, so I'm going to take that off. There's nothing over here, so let's get rid of that. This -8 I can get rid of, but I can eliminate as much as possible, and that makes it a little bit easier to see. I am going to go ahead and label my points. So this point is at 7. And remember, 2 boxes, that's worth 4 in value. And then this point is over 2 and down 2. So I need a -2 there. So just go ahead and label your points. You can even go ahead and label them X and Y. I'm going to let that be the first pair. It doesn't matter. You can let this one be the first pair, and however, just make sure that you have an X and a Y in each pocket. So I can go ahead and do that. Now, the instructions are to write the equation of the line in standard form. All right, we can do that. Let's go ahead and build in a pattern for the standard form. And remember what standard form looks like. It's big AX plus big BY equals big C. X plus Y equals C. Okay. I don't have any idea what those would be, A, B, and C. I just don't know. I have 2 points, and I have a line to look at. I could find slope if I have 2 points, and that's what I'm going to do. But that's still not going to help me much. But let's go ahead and do what we can. We can go ahead and put slope down here. So the formula, remember, is rise over run. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And I did already label some points, so let me just bring those in here. X2 I said was 2. Those go on the bottom. X1 is 7. Then the y's on the top. I have -2 minus 4. And that will give me a slope of -6 over -5. And when you divide that through, that's going to give you a positive 6/5. So we can say that slope is positive 6/5, or 1 1/5, or you could even write it as a decimal. Doesn't matter which form. So we've found slope, meaning that it rises 6 and runs 5, it rises 6 and runs 5, and so on. Okay, that's great, but that isn't going to help me in standard form. So I need to put on another outfit. I'm not going to erase that outfit because I need it in just a minute, but I'm going to have to choose another outfit to try to get what I need to know. So I will make another frame here, And you can use point slope. You could use even slope intercept if you wanted to do that. I think that I'm going to use point slope because I know that I have slope and I know that I have a point. So it would make sense that we have a point. And I'm going to use, I believe, the 2, -2. You could use either one of them, but these are smaller numbers. We do know slope. We just found it. And I'm going to leave it in the fraction form of 6/5. So I'm going to put this outfit on and see what we can come up with. So the pattern says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So let's plug in what we know. Here is x and y, but remember we use those subscripts for substitution. So we would have the -2. Let me just do it this way. For the y. And then the x would be +2. And I actually should go ahead and substitute 6/5 right here too. So I've taken that point and I've taken the slope that I found and I've just plugged those in to this pattern. And then I need to simplify. So y minus -2 is the same as y plus 2. Then 6/5 times x is 6/5 x minus 6/5 times 2. And I recommend doing that on a calculator. That would give you 12/5. Okay, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. That's point slope form. But I still need to get that simplified a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and do slope intercept. I'm going to just keep going. All I need to do is move that 2 over. This problem is a Lulu. This one is one of those I would just make a guess and just hope for the best. So 6/5 x, I have trouble saying that word, minus, you've got to combine these two, and I would use the calculator. I would say -12/5 minus 2, and that should simplify to -22/5. And we're good. We're good to go at this point. This is called yet another outfit. This is slope intercept form. This one should be a bonus problem or something. This is just too much. Now, I still haven't answered the question. I found the slope. I used point slope. I got to slope intercept, but I still need to put this in standard form. And what I have here looks nothing like what it needs to. So I'm going to bring it back up here and just plug it in the way it's sitting. So we have 6/5 x minus 22/5. Now, I would really, really like to get rid of those fractions. And because they have a common denominator, I can. This is what I would do. It's not absolutely necessary, but this is what I would do. I would multiply both sides of this equation by the number 5. And what that's going to do, when you multiply that 5 through, it's going to get rid of that denominator. So you would be left with 6x minus 22 and then a 5y on this side. We're almost there. Hang with me just a second here. This is okay. That's a constant. No problem. This is okay. That's a big BY. No problem with that. It's even positive 5, so that's part of that picture. It's the x term that needs to move. So we will minus x, minus 6x over here, and cancel. And finally, we have what we need. We have big A, x, plus big B, y, equals big C. That is the equation of that line in standard form. Okay? But there's a problem. You knew this couldn't be the end of it. When I look at the graph, what's the problem? It's not a negative slope. The slope is not negative. So I have to work that negative out of there. A must be, in this case, a positive number. So negative 6x plus 5y equals negative 22. I need to standardize that formula so that the A value, the negative 6, is a positive value. So to do that, I'm going to do what I did with my 5 over there. I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1. If I do it to both sides, I'm fine. I can do whatever I want to as long as I do it to both sides. So I'm going to say negative 1 and negative 1. All that's going to do is reverse the signs for me, which is what I want. So 6x plus, negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. Negative 1 times positive 5 is negative 5. The signs are reversing, and then this would become a positive 22. That's what I'm looking for. That is the equation that matches this line in standard form. Heavens, what a problem. If I got that one on a test, I would skip it. I would pick something that has a positive slope, because you can see that on the graph, and I would go from there. I would not fret about this problem. This is like a challenge problem, in my opinion. What they're trying to get you to do is to use all three of the outfits, because you've got standard, you've got point slope, and you've got slope intercept. So you're having to use all of those, plus find slope, plus standardize. It's just a lot of different skills in one problem. But personally, I would skip that one and hope for the best.